everyone, it's Rosalind. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I wanted to share with you 6 perennials that I feel bring so much color and interest to the early fall garden. We are in growing zone 5B, northern Indiana, and some of the plants that I'm sharing today have started blooming already in midsummer, and we are now in the very first part of September, and these plants are still going strong. So as a gardener, sometimes I think, or as I should say for myself as a gardener, sometimes I get so focused on the early summer, spring, summer color in the garden, I kind of forget about the fall plants. But these plants I wanted to share with you. So we are going to start with the sedum because I just feel like every garden needs sedum. If you have sedum in your garden, you know how much the pollinators love this plant, and you just look at all the honeybees on there. You hear them buzzing. But this plant brings beautiful color to the late summer, early fall garden, and then you can just leave the plants just as is throughout the winter, and it brings winter interest to your garden as well. These plants look so pretty sticking out of the snow. But I have like a dark colored one, and this one is a little lighter colored, and then I have a purple sedum that I just planted this summer, and I think those 3 together will be very beautiful once that fills in. Next one is Russian sage. This one started blooming in July, and it is still bringing so much beauty and color to the garden. The bumblebees are still enjoying that plant. I think I'm going to come around to this side of the garden, but number 3 is hydrangeas. Every late summer, fall garden needs this plant. This is a limelight hydrangea, and it started blooming late July, early August, but just look. It's starting to turn kind of a pinkish color, and I'm going to pop around and show you a few of the other hydrangeas I have planted around. This is a firelight hydrangea, but just look at that beautiful kind of rose mauve color. That brings a lot of fall interest to the garden as well. Over here I have more Russian sage that got a little too big for its space. It was one of those things like, oh, okay, 30 inches. And then it actually grew to its mature size, and I was like, oh, that's 30 inches. But over here in this corner, I have a pinky winky hydrangea, and this plant is just gorgeous. Like, the tops of it has that white color, and then it kind of fades into the pink rose mauve color, and then it fades out to, this is kind of what it looks like. But that brings a lot of color and texture to the fall garden. And then, once winter comes around, those bloom stalks are still there, and it brings a lot of winter interest to the garden as well. Back here in this corner, I have some lavender, but just look at that sweet color this time of year. I have a few more pockets of lavender over there I want to show you. On this side of the garden shed, I have more lavender. Now this is a mature plant, and in an earlier video, I planted quite a few lavender plants that will eventually, spill out over the pathway. But just look, like, this is another plant that the pollinators absolutely love and enjoy. Every garden needs lavender in it for like late summer, early fall color. Also, I just wanted to give you a little view of what the cottage garden looks like from this direction. Oh, it's so pretty and peaceful right now. So number 5 is a black-eyed Susan. I love the color that this brings to the early fall garden. Like, this has started blooming midsummer, and it is still filled with color. But then when the flowers fade out, it gets that beautiful, interesting seed head, or at least I think it's beautiful. But I just think it brings so much interest to the garden right now. And then over here, I have some Sahara black-eyed Susan that I started from seed. And this has like just a lot of different colors, but it brings, like, I don't know, just like an autumn feel to the garden. There's some rusty colored looking ones. There's some yellow, and there's even some pink in the Sahara black-eyed Susans. Like, if you like growing flowers from seed, I highly suggest growing Sahara black-eyed Susans. on the west side of the garden. I call this my cut flower perennial bed. But I have some more sedum over here, and this has more, I don't know what variety this is, but it has more of a mauve colored flower to it. But heading down here, plant number 6 that I wanted to show you is a mini Joe Pye weed. This plant started blooming like, oh, I want to say like early to midsummer. And just look, it is still filled with color, and the pollinators are still loving this plant. Look at the sweet little butterfly on there. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's blooming in my early fall garden. If you have plants that you grow in your own garden that bring fall color or fall interest to the garden, or something that attracts the pollinators in the fall, I would love to hear about it. Please drop it in the comments. Thank you so much for being here today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.